And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
It's time for the mailbag. Special guest Angie's here. Angie, say hello.
I'm back.
Angie's back for the mail call here. Of course, if you want to be the question of the week, make sure you put your question in the comments down below. And you too can be question of the week, but we're going to do 2 questions of the week this week. We got some amazing questions coming through, but a very busy week this week. Angie, what did we have to do yesterday?
What did we do yesterday?
We had to take the dogs to the vet yesterday. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Finally got that done, but we had a coupon for 10% off. So we kept it barely under $1,000. So that was nice. And of course, our poor boy Lemmy. My poor boy Lemmy got an ear infection. He's got an ear infection now. He's got to take like medicine in his ear every morning and then every night, and you got to put it in there and you got to squish it together. And then he shakes it all out. It's a wild scene. It's a wild scene, let me tell you.
Lots of matted ear hair.
It's a mess. It's a mess. But poor Lemmy, I guess they said it was one of the worst ear infections. They said Lemmy is such a good dog, a very stoic dog, that he doesn't show his pain, doesn't show he has problems going on. So shout out to good old Lemmy there. But everybody was good. But everybody's been really eating good in the neighborhood, like Applebee's, apparently, is what they said.
Oh, yeah.
Applebee's.
I was like, where are you going with this?
I love Applebee's. That's what you were thinking.
Ace is a big back.
Yeah, he's
on a diet.
What did they say? He's like 7 pounds overweight. I think that's ridiculous. Dramatic. I think it's way dramatic. And it's a winter time, so they got their winter fat, I guess, holding storing in there, and they're not getting the exercise because it's 10 below 0. But I thought they were dramatic. Domino gained like, what was it, a 3/4 of a pound? It's like, okay, 3/4. And then Lemmy gained what, 3 pounds or something like that?
Not even, I think.
Yeah, 2. And Lemmy is Mr. like play in the backyard all day long, so he can't do that because it's cold. So I don't know. But Ace being 7 pounds, like I was like, the last time you weighed him, he was like still a very small puppy. So it's like, get out of here is what I said. Stop trying to make me feel bad.
They're calling us bad.
Getting me hot. But it was okay. I think they're all right. I think once springtime, they'll lose that little winter weight. So I'm not too worried about it. But we did that. And then we had to run. We had to go quick. We had to go to Jay's Toys and Games, Jay's CD and Hobby. We got to walk through that one. Patreon members, you can check out that video. Angie, hot on the hunt, hotter than me on the hunt. She was going through that pop wall. She was looking through everything. She had a list together. She was going after it. You'll see it in that video. I was shocked. I couldn't believe my eyes. I did one of those. Might have been allergies, might not have been. Then we went out to dinner. We went to the Mongolian Grill. It was a wild time for there. And then Angie said after that, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And you called it quits, and then you went to bed, and you got up and worked, and that's what I stayed up to like 1:30 editing videos. So that's the way it goes from time to time. The life of a YouTuber couple or something. And what else new? Anything else new? Car's still in the shop. We'll get that back hopefully today. That's about it.
It's busy times.
Just busy times. But how about we get down to the question of the week? Can you take it? All right, take it away, Angie. Question of the week.
It says, is Angie wearing a bra today?
Well, is Angie wearing a bra? There's only one way to find out.
The answer's no.
No. Nobody looked too close.
Oh my gosh. So at Cincy_John, you can swap 2 toy lines to give them new manufacturers. Who are you swapping?
I'm all about swapping. I'm here to swap, that's for sure. Swap shop, we'll call it over here today. Let's see. If I had to swap 2 toy lines, I guess I immediately think of our friends over there at Powertown. Shout out to Magnum TA. I guess I would swap Powertown away because we've had so many issues over the last couple of years. But man, oh man, I want those Powertown figures so bad. So can I swap those over to Mattel? Mattel does a classic Legends line. I would be there for that. But I'm hoping Powertown can steer the ship, the course correct. Not sure if they're going to be able to. We'll see what ends up happening in the future. As we always say, Angie, I don't know if you've ever heard this saying, but you lose them a loaf at a time. You get them back a slice. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Business Talk Kyle 101. You should see me out in the stores telling people that. Oh, they listen. They perk up, let me tell you. But yeah, Powertown, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but that would be one. And then one a little bit out of left field, I would like to see Mattel Retros go somewhere else. And maybe there's too many retro companies, but I feel like they're just not keeping up with all the third parties, which is really weird. We don't get near the output, and we don't get near the performers we're really hoping for. And I think that was your answer too, wasn't it? That was exactly what we were thinking. Now, if you were going to swap toy lines, Angie, you got any ideas? So we better keep you off of that. That's for sure. But that's it. That's my question there. But Angie, we got another question. Oh, we had 2 questions this week.
Twofer. Oh, gosh.
Oh, this is a long one.
Wordy one.
This is going to test your reading ability. Let's do it. Let's see Angie's reading skills.
At Joe Day 17821, when you are on the hunt at Walmart and Target and someplace like that, do you ever have someone come up to you and say, "Hey, are you that YouTube toy guy?" Or "Why are you recording in the toy section?" or anything else more complimentary or more angry? just employees. Why are you recording?
I've never once ever had somebody say, "Why are you recording?" I've never had anything like that ever. But I'm not really, because whenever I go into the section, so whenever I go to, let's say, a Target, there's the NECA set, and there's usually 2 toy aisles. So whenever I go to the sets, I make sure there's nobody there, if at all possible. So I always say, okay, there's nobody in the wrestling aisle, I'll do that. Well, there's somebody in the McFarlane Marvel set, I'm going to go over to NECA, then I'll come back. So I always kind of work it that way. Every once in a while I do, and I'm pretty, what's the word, discreet about it, very discreet. Some may say. Very discreet.
That wasn't discreet.
That was discreet. But I usually move around like swift like a cat. You know, people just don't know I'm there. So I think that's part of it right there. Never had anybody angry, never had anything like that. But I have definitely had, "Hey, are you that YouTube toy guy?" I've had that quite a few times. And it's weird. I get it more when I travel out of state for work. And I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Shout out to Oconomowoc. I'm in an area like that, and it's like somebody walks up like, what the heck? What is going on? Why are you here? But I don't get it a ton in my own area, which is, I don't know.
Unless we're at like a big event, like a concert. Or...
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. Like we were at Nikki Glazer, and we had somebody walk up. It's always cool. I'm always here to chat. I know I get it a lot in the comments. People will say, "Oh, I thought it was you. I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you." I'm like, say hi. Say hi. I love to talk because, unfortunately, Angie, you can attest to this. Usually you and the kids are walking around and I'm trying to talk to you, and it's just like I'm talking to a wall. Nobody's even paying attention and listening. So I'm always welcome to talk to somebody, of course, that's actually interested in my conversation. So I'm always out there. I'm out there, and I'm easy to talk to, I think. But never any issues. I did have one time I was in Illinois, and a guy walked up to me and he said, "Hey, I know you. I know you." I'm like, "Oh, here we go. He's going to give me the old I've seen you." And we were in the NECA section and stuff. And he thought I was Randy Falk, is who he thought I was from NECA. So like the head of NECA Toys.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it was just a wild thing. It was a wild thing. I was like very shocked. It was just a weird deal, but I've never, usually it's like the big show and things like that is usually what people say. But a wild time, but nothing angry, none of that. But yeah, I do have people come up to me. Any other part of the question? No angry. No
angry.
No, that's it. So an interesting slice of life is what that is right there, isn't it? So there it is. That's the old question of the week. Angie, you got anything else? You got anything to talk about? What are we going to do for dinner? As we're filming this right now, the Royal Rumble's in like 2 hours. The kids want to go to some K-pop store. They want popsicles. I think they got, popsicles and lollipops and stuff like that there. I'm guessing that's what that is.
Go to the K-pot or whatever that is.
Oh, the K-pop. We're just keeping it Korean. It's Korean all day long. We're going to watch some Squid Game after that. It's just Korean day over at this house. No, it's not. I don't think I'm going to go to the K-pop thing. I got too many reviews to do. I got other stuff, and I got the Royal Rumble starting at 5 o'clock. I can't miss out on the Royal Rumble. I can't be going to this K-pop thing. I got street cred. I got to hold up my end.
"Let's go without Dad." And I said, "We can't go without Dad."
Did they say that? They did say that. Gosh, I hate them. I hate those kids. they're out of the will.
Well, I didn't think you'd want to go.
Yeah, they're right.
I was like, "Oh, he'll want to go."
I guess I won't go. I'll just leave it to ladies. You guys can do the K-pop, and then you can bring me home some dinner for the Royal Rumble. I feel like I need to have pizza or wings. This is kind of like my Super Bowl. This is kind of what it's like here, because I'm not a big football guy. I like college football, but this is off the rails. It's just ramblings of a madman is what this has turned into, isn't it?
You put the football game on the other day, and then I got all invested.
Oh, she loves it. She loves those Chiefs. She was looking for Taylor Swift. She loves T-Swizzle.
I do like Taylor Swift, but I wasn't. That's my first Chiefs game I've watched.
Oh, just a lot going on. That's the way it goes. But there it is. That's the question of the week. Angie, thank you for coming. Will you be here next week?
Yeah.
Maybe. But that is question of the week. You want to do question of the week? Put it in the comments down below. But now, Angie, I need you to leave because this is going to be the most embarrassing weekly purchases of all time. Even I am like blushing at this one. I'm ashamed of myself.
So much stuff or what?
There's so much stuff. It's like it's a ridiculous amount. It's just I feel bad for those kids in those like third world countries. Mm-hmm. There's some little kid out in
you could have fed him for a year
in Ghana or something. He's down there in Ghana. He's in Uganda. Maybe Kamala's relatives down there. They're just wanting something. They wish they had 2 shoes. He has 2 left shoes or something. Some kid in Uganda. And here I am spending
fed their whole tribe
spending $1 million on action figures this week. $1 million, ridiculous week of weekly purchases. I am ashamed of myself.
You should be.
I'm going to write an apology letter and I'm going to send it somewhere. I don't know where, but stay tuned for the weekly purchases. I need you out of here. Even I usually don't blush at the purchases in front of her, but this time it's too crazy. You'll have to watch the video and then I'll hide.
Up yet. I'm afraid my boob will
That's
pop out.
too much. Give everybody a show. Give them a show. But there it is. Angie, thank you for coming. That's question of the week. Stay tuned.
Speaking of Taylor Swift.
For the weekly purchases. All right, we're here. It's time for the question of the week. Angie's back. Angie, thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks.
Good to have you here. Are you ready for the question of the week this week? It's been a wild week this week, Angie. We've had all kinds of issues, and Angie doesn't pre-read. I just talk, and then she answers off of what I'm going to say. She doesn't even know. She doesn't know what I'm going to say right now. But this week we got the call. We got a call on Monday on the phone, and it was one of those calls you just dread. You never want to hear this call. It's just a sad, disappointing, sad call that calls, and I believe it came to you. Thankfully, it came to you. I didn't have to drop to my knees and cry and burst into tears. But rough week here at the house. And Angie says, where are we going with this? We got the call from our dog vet this week. And they said, hey, you know your dog Domino? You know that little Domino, that little black dog you have? And I said, oh, yeah, that one over there. And they said that she has Lyme disease. Yes, Lyme disease. Poor Domino. Hard times with the Lyme disease. Angie already forgot about it because I'm the one giving her the medicine twice a day. Thankfully, on Lyme disease, though, it's you get it in humans, it's not a good day at the office for sure. But you get it in dogs, it's really not that big a deal. She has no symptoms, she has no effects of it, and I guess that's most dogs for the most part. But it's not good to have in your system. So she has to take a pill 2 times a day for 30 days, and then she'll be off to the races once again. But she hasn't changed anything, hasn't changed her meal or anything. But you get that call, and you said Lyme disease, no, and then it wasn't that big of a deal. But it sucks. You got to pay $30 for the medicine, but it could be a lot worse. You could lose Domino, and if we lost Domino, we'd lose a piece of our heart. I think is what we would lose there. So
we always said if one of them was going to get it, it would be her. Because that black coat is impossible.
It is. You can't fight ticks, and for whatever reason, I guess the heart guard.
We treat them too. No, it's frontline.
A frontline, yeah. Doesn't work apparently. It's just a sham out of you veterinarians out there. So shame on y'all, you guys as well. So we had that call this week, and then last week in weekly purchases, we discovered we had massive hair problems in this house. I guess maybe me, not so much you. Unfortunately, I got my hair trimmed. Thanks for all that noticed it. I got 2 inches off my hair. Nobody even said anything. Can you believe that? Nobody even noticed.
It's not obvious.
Nobody noticed, but Angie noticed that they messed up my hair. What did they do, Angie?
Well, he gets this shaved.
Yeah, shave it on the side.
They nicked a piece of his full length at the front.
Look at that. They nicked it. I didn't even notice.
So,
I was so mad. I was so upset. And it was weird for like 2 days before Angie noticed. I'm like, why does my hair, it keeps annoying me? What is going on? And it's falling in my face because it's just to here instead of down to here. So she got going over there, and I want my tip back is what I want.
She knew too. It had to have fallen on your caper on the floor.
She was just, romancing me and stuff like that, really playing it up, and that's what she was doing.
That's what you get for being so cute.
I know, and gosh, so then I had that hair issue, and then the biggest hair issue this week, and I felt like an idiot. And I don't need a lot of help to feel like an idiot. I can usually do it on my own. That's why I tell everybody at work, I can be an idiot by myself. I don't need you helping me to have to cover for you and stuff. So, long story short, I take showers every single day. It's good. It's a healthy habit. I would recommend it. Every morning, start off with a shower, brush my teeth as well.
I'm just adjusting my bra.
Yeah, sure, give a show. One. The nice thing too, we keep forgetting to mention, 50,000 subscribers. Angie is going to do this in her bra. I think is what you said you were going to
my
do.
God, no.
Weekly purchases. So that's just another incentive, I would say, to subscribe. But maybe not. We'll see what happens. We'll talk offline. What do you want for dinner? We'll figure it out. But the big issue, though, I shower like you should. You should shower every single day. And my hair was coming out of there, and it was like the biggest knot ever. And I was just losing my mind because we've talked about this on weekly purchases and question of the week before. What kind of shampoo and conditioner you use? And I said, whatever my wife puts in there. I don't care. You usually try something. You say, ugh, I hate this stuff. And you give it to me, and then I have to use it because I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to use it. And I don't really care that much like you do. But I'm using this shampoo and conditioner, and it's just going south for multiple days. And it was just brutal. I'd come out of the shower, like, Angie, I need your help. My hair's all knotted up. And then you would, like, get the hairbrush, and you'd, like, work it through. And you want to take it from there. You're like, there's something amiss here. Something's not going right. And, of course, take it from there.
Your only defense was that I bought a body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, and they all had the same packaging. It was from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, all the same.
He was washing his hair with shampoo and body wash.
Yeah, so body wash instead of conditioner is what I was using. So no wonder.
Not tell? Like,
well, I could tell something was up.
Consistency is so different.
So I could tell something was up, but I've always playing musical. I'm playing musical chairs with this shampoo and conditioner all the time, and I don't know if it's something the way it's supposed to be. I'm not used to this long, beautiful hair. That's for sure. But so then my hair's all knotted up and everything, and the bottles are all the same. And you think I'm reading in the shower? I'm getting up early in the morning. I didn't get enough sleep to begin with, and now I'm sitting here looking at this shampoo and conditioner. I'm not reading the labels. I'm just going after it and getting it. Little did I know the conditioner's on the floor and the shampoo's up high and the conditioner.
You did it.
Oh, it's just a nightmare this week. You see what she has to deal with on a daily basis. And
crazy, guys.
should we talk about my work this week? How I think I was going to have a heart attack. I think I was pretty close. I haven't been this fired up in a long time. So basically a couple hours ago, I was fired up. My face was all red. You said, boy, you're all fired up. I think I'm a day away from a heart attack, I think. So I need to do work. I need work-life balance. That's what I need. So one of these days. But Angie, enough of my jibber-jabber. Enough of the diary of a madman like a young Ozzy Osbourne here today. You just take it away.
Speaking of Ozzy, he's going back touring.
Oh, we talked about that in the toy news yesterday. So I'm hoping to get a ticket to Birmingham. I don't know if it's going to be in the cards there for that, but Angie, it's time for the question of the week. There's been enough. I'm exhausted. We're going to go out for dinner. Angie, you're just going to pick the place. I'll even pay. You just handle it all. Take me there, and I don't know. I'm burning it at both ends here today. But there it is. Angie, take it away for the question of the week, and we're going to do two questions this week. Angie, put her reading skills to the test.
This is a paragraph.
It's a long question. She likes the short ones, except the long ones.
I do like the short ones.
You do? Well, what are you doing here? What are you doing with me?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
SGCNYC. My question is about graded figures. I don't even know what that is.
I do.
I have been buying a bunch of Toy Biz graded figures. While they are still relatively cheap, I noticed you don't have many or any at all. So my question is, do you have any graded figures, and what are your thoughts on graded figures in general?
Well, I don't know if SGCNYC is going to like my answer very much. I am not a fan of graded figures. It's not for me. So that's basically where, like, you get a graded card. You send it in, and they say, okay, it's, a mint 10. It's totally mint, or it's a mint 5 or 6 or something like that. I'm just not, I don't want to say it's a scam, but I'm close to saying it's a scam because, and it's no different than baseball cards and all that kind of stuff, because I might grade this a 10, somebody else might grade it a 5. It's just one person's judgment. It just feels like a total scam to me, and I love action figures. I get my enjoyment out of action figures. You love action figures too. It's not for me. That's not for me. Most of my stuff is going to be loose anyways, and I'm not grading any of that kind of stuff. I could see where there could be some people enjoying that, and I could understand it, like we talked about, I think, on the channel recently. If you got that old school LJN Ultimate Warrior mint on card, that might be worth a grade, maybe, if you want to. But for me, I feel like it's leaning on the scam thing for me. But do what you want. It's your money at the end of the day. I'm just not a fan of graded figures. It just does not interest me in the least. That's why I don't have any. I've been offered a few over the years, and I just said I'd rather just have a regular one. It doesn't mean enough for me. Outside of just a statement piece, a 1 of 5, a 1 of 1, I just don't really even see the need for it, really, in all honesty. And a bunch of Toy Bizes. I don't know what Toy Bizes you're grabbing. Are you grabbing the wrestling ones? I hate those wrestling ones too. So I'm just poo-pooing all over everything right here. I'm just not a fan of the Toy Biz wrestling lines. That was an early That's So Hard to Say Goodbye of a bunch of loose ones that just accumulated in my collection doing deals over the years. Not a fan of those. But if you're talking Toy Biz Marvel, I was a big fan of those back in the day. But that's about all I got on there. I am not a big fan of the graded figures, and I just don't know. I just don't see it. But you like what you like, you don't what you don't. We always say that, right, Angie? Now it's time for question number 2, and this is one we get a lot as well. Angie, take it away. Angie gets this all the time at work.
Tim Simpson, 7372. Question of the week. Would someone's personal behavior ever make you get rid of their figures or decide not to buy their new upcoming figures?
It would not, and that's one question I get. How can you live with Hulk Hogan figures in your collection? And I say that every single day, going back to when I was a kid in the 80s. I had his LJNs, I had his Hasbros. I wasn't a Hulkamaniac. I'm still not a Hulkamaniac, but you got to have them. If you're playing wrestling, you're displaying wrestling, how do you not have Hulk Hogan? Especially if you're a completist, you're somebody that's deep in the weeds in the action figure. You got to have guys that you hate. I hate Hulk Hogan. I can't stand him, and I'm glad so many of you out there are finally coming around to me what I've been trying to tell you since the 80s. You're finally coming to your senses, and it's good to see that on everybody. Same thing with Duke. There's a lot of people coming around on Duke, the worst leader of all time. When I was a kid, don't get me started on the Duke. Don't get me started on the Duke. But I have them in my collection because you feel like you need them. I'm choking on my own. I'm choking. I'm getting so passionate here. I'm choking.
A work call.
Oh, it isn't even a work call, and I'm all fired up today. It caught me at the right day, I guess. But I got Duke. You got to have Duke in your collection because somebody's got to be the cannon fodder when you're playing. So I do have those guys. You know, Chris Benoit, Jimmy Snuka come up a lot. You know, it is what it is. Chris Benoit was my favorite wrestler. Angie, you remember those days. I love me some Chris Benoit. He was my absolute favorite wrestler. Horrible what happened there, and I just try to separate the two. I didn't get rid of all my Chris Benoit figures. I have them in my collection, but it's just tough. You got to separate that a little bit, but it is what it is. I know some people say, I'm never going to have a Duke figure, and I'd like to shake that guy's hand because I'd like to do it. I just can't do it. I feel like I need Duke in my collection. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. You have any thoughts on that question of the week? Is there anybody's personal behavior? Like if Taylor Swift just killed 10 people, she just went out there in the street and killed 10 people, would you still listen to her music?
Oh. Maybe.
Like Taylor just went into the grocery store, just started firing off rounds, and they're just taking everybody out. Would you say, I don't know if Taylor Swift's for me anymore? I don't know. Yeah, no. But you know, the hard truth, the hard reality is they always say never meet your heroes. Yeah. And I think so many people that people look up to, collect, whatever, if you found out the skeletons in their closet, you would not like that at all. And you know what the crazy thing is, Angie? We talk about this all the time. I'm thinking about running for mayor. I am. I'm going to be mayor. I think it's time. I think I'm going to step up. And you know why I could do that, Angie? Angie's going to be the first to tell you here. I have the squeakiest clean record ever. I have zero skeletons.
They would dig into me.
Oh, yeah. You're a wild one. You're wild. I'm just the normal guy that collects action figures. But I have nothing in there. I have been
never even smoked a cigarette.
Never. So they're not getting. I'd be the perfect mayor, and I think a lot of people would want to move to this town if I could be the mayor of this town. It'd be like a cross between Mayor McCheese and I don't know who else, but I think I have no skeletons, so I'd be able to get away with that. So I think that is my future plan. Mayor of this fine city, maybe work my way into senator, and then who knows, maybe president one of these days. I don't know, but my stress level's bad enough with my day job, so I don't know if I could take the world on my shoulders. It feels like it's already there half the time, so I don't know if I could take another world, a galaxy on my shoulders. But let's mark that. Let's mark that in my future book here, my goal book. I'm going to put that a little higher on the list, mayor of this town, so I might look into that here in the future. So. Just the plate gets busier every single day, and that's the question of the week. Angie, anything else for you? You're ready to eat. I'm ready to eat. It's been a long day, folks. It's been a long day. It's been a long day today, that's for sure. You're ready to dance somewhere. I've got my dollars, so I'm ready. But there it is. That's question of the week. Angie, thank you for coming, and if you want to be the question of the week...
Thank you.
No, thank you. If you want to be the question of the week next week, brother, put it in the comments down below.
Gotta go.
Put it in the comments down below, and we will maybe answer your question next week. But now, it's time to stay tuned for the weekly purchases All right, time for question of the week. And my Valentine, Angie, is here looking very festive here. Got all the hearts going on. I bet you were just a hit around town today for sure. And I got my pink Sting shirt on, so we're both in the Valentine's mood here. The season of love, I guess, is what that is right there. But it is a Valentine's weekly purchases. It is a Valentine's weekend. It is the Valentine's question of the week. And we got 2 questions of the week this week, Angie. I don't know if we're ready for this. But are you ready to dive in? You ready to start it off?
Are they romantic or what?
Oh, they are. I should have said, how's your week? How are things going for you? I'm just jumping right into it. People want to hear from you more than me, so.
I just got home from work.
Oh, you just
I was out in the streets.
Out in the street, working those streets for Valentine's. That's the busy time of year right now.
That's
There's
my
a
busy
lot.
time of year.
It is the busy time. There's a lot of lonely guys out there. You could be one of them. And Angie's out there just trying to please everybody on the streets, I guess, apparently. Who knows? But Angie had a good week, and Valentine's Day. We're going to go to Raising Cane's for Valentine's Day. Oh, is there
When
anything
love.
better than when love? Exactly, Raising Cane's. There's supposed to be a snowstorm coming through here, so last night we went and tried this new Mexican establishment, and it was pretty good. I don't think it was worth the drive. What about you?
It's good. Like, the seasoning was good on the meat and stuff.
Yeah, it was good. And Angie's a bit of a Mexican connoisseur. Get some chips and salsa and maybe a couple of margaritas in her, and you're off to a good time, trust me. But this one was, 20 minutes away from us, and there's about 10 restaurants closer to us. And I think for the travel and everything, it was worth trying once at least, I would say. So we did do that. And then the kids, if you could go anywhere for dinner, where do you want to go? Get me to that Raising Cane's right away. Get me some chicken strips. So we're going there for dinner tonight. So unfortunately, like I said, too, it's supposed to snow a ton. It didn't end up snowing a ton yet. It got kind of delayed. So we could have went to Mexican tonight, long story short. I think. But one love tonight, of course. Like young Bob Marley with Raising Cane's tonight. And you love Raising Cane's, too, as well. I can't eat Chick-fil-A or Raising Cane's anymore.
We've ruined it.
I've totally ruined it for me. The kids could eat there every single meal. And I'm like, we're going there again. Can we go somewhere else? So I'm doing it for Valentine's Day, but totally ruined Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A for me. And one of these days, I'm going to get my dad on the channel. We're going to talk about our Chick-fil-A experience. First time ever at the starting lineup convention back in the 90s. Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to Cincinnati. I hate Cincinnati. Chris Sabo, get him out of here. Eric Davis, get him out of here. Get all those guys. Barry Larkin, I don't even want to hear from you either over there. But we did go to enemy territory, Cincinnati, Ohio. Smells of urine and piss in the...
Oh my gosh.
It did. It was... I couldn't believe it. That was the first time. I was a little kid. I was like 8, 9, maybe I was 10 or 11. But there was a guy just peeing openly in the skywalk, and he was just like pouring it up in the air. Like, woo, one of those things. And I'll never forget that. Like, just looking at my dad, and dad just like carry on, and like... People peeing in the skywalks up there. What are we doing, Cincinnati? Is that what the Cincinnati Reds... And Angie's like, what are you talking about? And I don't even know
I'm just
either.
shocked you said the word piss.
Piss and vinegar. That's what this channel's full of course. But it was a wild time in Cincinnati, but a heck of a starting lineup convention. Some of the best starting lineup conventions you'll ever go to. And Angie said, what's a starting lineup? I don't know
that.
Oh, she knows. She's an
I got
expert.
a
She
dog
collected.
nudging me down here.
There you go. Oh, you got a dog? Oh, it's Ace. Get out of here, Ace. You're nothing but trouble. Oh, there we go. But crazy times, of course. And long story short, just a rambling mess is what this is. Angie, take it away.
Oh my god. All right, Ambrose Ortiz, 985. Does the family ever get tired of going to Walmart and Targets? I'm also a collector. My wife and child like when I go sometimes. Otherwise, like, I don't want to go. Does this happen to you? We always want to go.
Angie, you can answer that question right there.
We spend that money.
Yes, and I always hate it. We just talked about it the other day. I always want everybody to go, guys, let's go to Target and Walmart. And then everybody wants to go. But then what ends up happening, Angie?
Some K-pop CDs are purchased, some body wash.
Yeah, it turns into where Kyle would be in and out of that store in 5 minutes. We end up spending
$200.
We spent 45 minutes in there, and it's like $120 later. So it's a dangerous game. You think you want your family to come, but do you really? Do you really?
Me and you do pretty good
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
If you don't buy anything, I don't buy anything. But if the kids come, it's trouble.
Yeah, the kids are nothing but trouble. We're gonna get rid of them. And I guess that would be the answer there. And I guess I can go to the next question about the kids being nothing but trouble. So the second question, bonus question this week, going into the championship question rounds.
Okay, Chris Bickley, 1. Do you and Angie ever have many arguments? I can't imagine either of you losing your cool. You are both great, and thanks for everything you do for us.
I mean, does physical abuse and punches to the face count as an argument? Like, if I just settle it quick with a punch to the face, is that an argument? I don't know. No. I guess that kind of relates into the other one. The only thing we really fight about is these no good kids. These two rats I got living in my house right here. No, but the two kids. Angie's the pushover. I'm the disciplinarian. I'm the hammer that comes down and says. And I always say, in my day, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. It's like, wait a minute. My dad made me clip the grass all around the fence, and I had to do it with scissors. Scissors all the way around there. They can at least use the weed whacker, but the kids won't help me on any of that kind of stuff. So Angie is very easygoing, as you can imagine by all the nonsense around me. Of course, Angie is very easygoing.
Yeah, I let you get away with everything. Why can't I let them?
Very supportive, very good. Angie's very good. So we don't really have any arguments. I don't even know if I've raised my voice. I don't think we've ever had like a real knockdown, drag out fight or anything like that. It's more of a disagreement. Would that be the word?
You're just a gentle giant.
I'm just a softie, because at the end of the day, I always throw a fit. I'll say, "Oh, we can't do this, can't do this." All right, what do you want to do? Because that's what always happens. I always give my 2 cents, and then so when I'm
I
the
just
guy,
take my shirt off and then we get whatever we want.
I'm the worst, and I don't do this in my work life. She's wild. Like I said, she's the wild one for sure. But in my work life, I seal the deal. I sit there. One key, business key, Angie, you can feel free to use this. Any of you guys, and especially you gals out there, yes, the gals, they watch. Use this in your art of selling out there. You got to be comfortable in the silence. That's the key. That's where most deals go south. You have to sit there. You shoot your offer right there, and then you got to let the silence. You got to let that silence linger, because it's so easy to jump in and start adding to your point or walking back your point. If you do that, you lose them. And some people may say you lose them a loaf at a time, get them back a slice at a time. I'm not saying that, but being comfortable in the silence, which is tough for me. Look at me. I'm a chatterbox. I'm talking all the time. I'm getting all passionate, getting all worked up. But when I'm selling out there, you got to be comfortable in the silences, because people will say yes, no, whatever, but you can talk them out of something. So that's one thing I do very good at my day job. I don't do good around here, because I say, no, we're absolutely not doing that. And then literally 2 seconds, all right, so what is the plan exactly? I need to be comfortable in the silence with you and let you marinate and stew on it a little bit.
See, you reproduce 2 collectors, and then now you don't want to
Well,
they want to buy, because Dad gets to buy, and it is a weird line to cross, because...
Yeah, and it is tough, because I'll tell the kids too. It's like, well, guess what? I was a collector as a kid, but you know what? I always tell them this all the time, and they just slog me off. And partially, we're gonna have a disagreement right here. It is your fault that they don't take me seriously, because I would always say, guess what? When I wanted something from my dad, you don't think I was sitting there and say, Dad, I did all the weed whacking around the house with the scissors. I took the garbage out. My room was clean. I went to school every single day this week. I emptied the dishwasher. I did my laundry. I cleaned up all the dog poop in the backyard. You don't think I was shooting that artillery at my dad? I was firing rounds off. Dad, I want this figure. Bam, bam, here's what I did. Here's what I did. And he'd say, well, you know what? I'm doing the math. I could probably get Kyle that $5 G.I. Joe figure. But when I do that to my kids, I say, hey, kids, here's a perfect example, Angie. I'm getting worked up. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the electricity right here. But we've been talking a lot this week about these stray kids. You ever heard of these stray kids? Angie know these stray kids. I don't know these stray kids. I never even heard of them. And I'm like, my kids want to go. Both kids, they want to go to this band called the Stray Kids. And I said to myself, what is a stray kid? Is this like the Stray Cats? Is it a Stray Cats tribute band? Brian Setzer getting the band back together? Slim Phantom going to be there? I don't know, but it's these stray kids. And apparently they're Koreans from Australia, or they're Australians, Koreans. I don't know what they are. I don't understand K-pop. I don't get it. I don't understand these kids. They don't even know Korean. I said, you don't even know what they're saying. And they're singing a song about peanut butter and jelly. It's a wild, wild thing. Dare I say it must be a power move, because it's working for them, because I looked up the ticket and I found out they're playing at Wrigley Field. I said, I am so out of the loop that this band is playing. First, they even exist and I don't know them. And they're playing Wrigley Field. What are we doing with our life? But I did call a good friend of the channel, Jeff George. You know Jeff. And I said, Jeff, you ever heard of these stray kids? And he said, no. And this is a guy that's in a band. Was in a big band. He knows what's going on in the groups. He's a Gibson artist, for Pete's sake. So,
Oh my God.
for Peterson's sake.
I'm sweating for you.
I am too. So these stray kids, I start looking at the tickets. It's like $1,500 for 4 tickets. And I said, I'm out. We're not going. You go all the way to Wrigley. You got to get a hotel room. You got all the parking, all that rigmarole that goes with it. It's like a $2,000 whim. And the kids just say, it's no big deal. Let's just do it. I'm like, they don't understand the value of $1. And it goes back to that Webster episode way back in the day where George Papadopoulos's dad was there, and he gave Webster a bunch of money, and Webster used to like get money out of the couch cushions and stuff, and Webster said, oh, George, that's just a quarter, I don't need that. And I took that to heart as a kid. I said, a quarter is a quarter, and people work hard for a quarter.
That's why they're getting rid of pennies. Nobody even picks them off the ground anymore.
Oh, I just get so... But so, like, the kids don't even understand it. And I was like, and I gave him the whole story, bringing it all back around. When I was a kid, I would have ammunition for my dad. I'd be like, Dad, I just emptied the dishwasher. I cleaned up the dog poop. I took out the garbage. I was good at school. I cleaned up my room. I dusted. You'd have all that stuff in the background ready to go to help give to your point. And I said, Emma, remember when I told you to empty the dishwasher before Mom gets home from work, and you blew me off? Well, maybe if you would have said, hey, I emptied the dishwasher, that's worth a $3,000 trip to Chicago. Maybe that would have happened, but unfortunately, not the case there. But so then, they're all fighting with me. Everybody wants to go Stray Kids. Angie, by proxy, apparently is a Stray Kids fan now. She loves it.
Learning the dance moves.
She's doing the dance moves around the house. That's what we should film and put on the channel. You and Emma doing the Stray Kid dance moves. But now it's all 3 against 1, and I'm just like, that's fine, we'll go, but let's get the best deal we can on these tickets. Does anybody got Stray Kids ticket hookups they can hook me up with?
We're going to be in the nosebleeds.
Oh my gosh, and I'm like, I want to go because I'd like to see them enjoying something, but at the same time, do I want to spend $500 on a ticket for something I don't even understand?
It's rough.
I don't know. I did see Paul McCartney, like, second row center at Wrigley Field once upon a time. Now, that was a concert. But so then the kids get all that stuff. They get all these albums. They get all this stuff all the time. And I'm like, if you guys could do some chores around the house. Your poor old dad out there shoveling and snow blowing. The minute I walk in, oh, you're done? We were just coming out. Oh, yeah, you were. I know that trick. I've done that trick before a time or two.
You think you're raising boys.
Oh, it's just terrible. But
they're sweet kids. They get good grades. We always hear great things
hate
about them in school.
I hate them. Get rid of them.
And we don't ever push them to get straight A's, and they all do.
That's true. They are very good. So they do have that over me, but I don't know. It's just hard times. It's hard times. The kids these days, they don't got that work ethic, and now I just sound like the generation above me saying those don't. So I guess it just passes down, but it's true this time. It wasn't true before. It was true this time for sure. But these kids, they got to start doing chores around here. They got to start working for a living. They got to start producing around here. And I remember when we got the rats, Angie, you said, hey, we're going to get these rats. Kids are going to take care of them. I said, you're right. They're never going to do anything. You're going to take care of all the rats. And Angie is the rat queen. I'm the rat king. For sure. So long story short, that's the only thing we ever argue about. It's not really because I'm such a pushover, but I give my 2 cents. I give those 2 cents, and I never get my way on that kind of stuff. So we're probably going to go to these Stray Kids. Most likely,
we're going to Raising Cane's.
And we're going to Raising Cane's. We're doing all this. But I am probably not going to go to the Stray Kids. I probably will sit that one out. So I think it's sometime in June. Actually, it's the day after my birthday. June 25th. Everybody mark your calendars down. Mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. Going to send Kyle's birthday weekend in Chicago with a bunch of Korean pop stars. That's what we're going to do. We're going to shout out. So, long story short, I might be all alone on June 26th. So if anybody wants to party with Kyle in Chicago, there's got to be something funner to do than that. So I'll have like a 3-4 hour window while they're at the show. Maybe I get a drink. Maybe there's a good pizza place around there. Is Pequod's in walking distance of Wrigley Field? I don't know. So more on that one, story at 11. But that's about it. But all in all, no real fighting. Good old Ange. She's good. She's a good gal. She's a good gal. She puts up with a lot. She puts up with my craziness and my crazy work schedule and then all this YouTube stuff on top of it. How do you even see me half the time? Well, you do. You do. You said, I can't see you like John Cena. So there it is. That's the question of the week. I think I need to go take a nap. Actually,
exhausting.
I've got, unfortunately, a call.
I need a haircut. Look at this hair.
No, don't. That was last week's discussion.
You can't even see the end of it on the table.
Got plenty of room.
Oh, God.
But anyways, yeah, I got a conference call I got to be on here in about a half hour, so I got to prepare for that. I gotta sell and gotta pay the mortgage. Gotta pay the mortgage. Somebody's got to. So a very long-winded Valentine's Day Q&A. But if you want to be the Q&A question of the week next week, put it in the comments down below. Who knows what it could be? And Angie, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for coming, and I hope Raising Cane's changes your life.
Oh gosh, this is the second video in a row I've done this heart thing. Elle made fun of me for doing it last time.
And there it is. That is the question of the week.
All right, question of the week time. My wife Angie's here. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Good to have you back here, Angie. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Good. I'm doing good. Well, that's good to hear. It's been a monumental week this week, of course. We did just recently get back from the vet. Had to go to round 2. Old Domino had to get some blood drawn. Spent another like $400 and some. Just a wild time. Just fun. Just that money. I'm like that kid from that meme, just throwing the money out the window. That's what's going on right there. And we're going to do it later in weekly purchases as well. We're going to keep throwing that money out the window is what we're going to do. But a quiet time, or a crazy time, more like it, at the vet. There was all kinds of loose dogs running around. They didn't have their act together. We were getting ready to go. And then they said, don't you think Domino needs some blood? And then they said, oh yeah, she does need some blood checked.
Some urine.
And some urine. And then they had to dig her urine out of the snow. And then, they got some dirt in there. She might have to go again. I'm like, well, good luck. She went before she left the house like a good girl, and now she went again for you. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get her to go 3 times. So then Angie did the thing a responsible dog owner was. She said, well, I'll take her out there. And then Angie peed in the snow herself, did the drug test for her, and Domino failed the drug test. What is in your system? Oh my gosh, what have you been up to? Who knows? But it was a wild time at the vet, of course. And then Angie, how about this week? Our 15-year anniversary this week. 15 years, almost 2 decades.
Crazy. Well, we've been together 2 decades.
That's true. That's true as well. It's been 21 years, our 21st year together here. So how about that? And I remember when we got married, I said, I'm not getting married. I'm not doing it. No. I said, oh, let's just get married today. Maybe not. But 15 years. 15 years. Can you believe it?
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked. And we went out to dinner. Any thoughts on dinner?
It was good.
It was good. We went to an Italian place, and luckily we could find it because it's hard to find, but we found it. Tried to go to another place first, but their line is just ridiculous. A little small little place. Been wanting to go there, but I don't want to get in line, especially when it's like 15 degrees below zero outside. I don't feel like waiting in line. I don't know if any food is that good, but we did go to an Italian restaurant. And you got a steak. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So talkative today.
So talkative, yeah. Yep, I did. Would you like to elaborate on that steak? No, I wouldn't. Okay, well, that's fine. She got a steak de Burgo, if you're familiar with that, and I got chicken livers, like an old man, like an old 80-year-old man out on the farm eating chicken livers. We got to use every bit of this chicken, Angie. Let's eat the livers up tonight, and that's what I did. I had chicken livers, a baked potato, a salad. Oh, just living that dream.
They weren't bothering me. Usually they make me the smell.
Wasn't bothering her.
And
that's
you
good.
recooked them at home.
I recooked them. So Angie said she's going to start making chicken livers around the house. Yeah, it's going to be good. I miss my grandma. My grandma used to do that for me. She'd make them. That's how I learned to like them as a kid. The more you know. But happy 15-year anniversary to you, Angie. Mwah, you did it. Very good. Oh, what are we doing? We're going to pound it. Let's pound it. Yeah. All right, we'll pound it later. We'll get after that. But we did go to the vet. We had our 15-year anniversary. And then probably the biggest news this week, and you guys saw it in the toy hunt video, we hit, of course, K-pop gold at Half Price Books. We went to the Half Price bookstore, found all the K-pop stuff you could ever want. It was just K-pop stuff coming out of our ears. The kids were just in heaven. They couldn't believe it. And I said, did you see the K-pop clearance set? And they were like, you're lying to us, Dad. You're just pulling our leg. And I said, no, follow me, girls. And then they were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, $3. And you were saying some of that stuff was like $50 at the K-pop store, but then we're buying it for $3 at Half Price Books. Sign me up all day long. I love it. I
was like out of breath. She was so excited.
They were so excited, and then just couldn't believe it. So all kinds of K-pop gold for those kids. They were just so happy, and I just don't understand the K-pop thing. We talked about it last week. They don't even understand the language. I don't even get what's going on here. It's over my head. But tonight we might go to Korean chicken. Why wouldn't we? Let's keep that K-pop thing going. We'll go to a Korean chicken place and just living that Korean life. Shout out to Korea, I guess. I don't know. My grandpa, long since passed, he fought in the Korean War. He'd say, what are you kids doing? He's like, these guys, he'd be like, these guys tried to kill me once upon a time, in the Korean War. And now we're listening to their music and they're singing about peanut butter and jelly. He just put his head down. He was a manly man, of course. He was a welder by trade. So, he was doing manly things, that's for sure.
It'll put him in the grave. We can't tell him.
Well, he already is. He died, Grandpa Ronnie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Grandpa Peterson.
Grandpa Peterson, he was in World War II. And he didn't fight the Koreans in that war, but I'm not sure. He's still a little antsy about some of that stuff too. That's for sure. So we had that going on, but K-pop all over the day. And then this week, I'm traveling to Kansas City. You're going to have a couple of lonely nights without me. How will you ever survive? I'll be down in Kansas City, but I'll be back in time for Elle's 14th birthday. I can't believe it. 14 years. Oh my gosh, I just can't. Where's the time go? So we're going to have a K-pop party. I think a K-pop band's coming in, if I'm not mistaken. And good friend of the channel, Jeff George, is flying in to sit in with that K-pop band because he knows all the guitar licks, even for K-pop songs. Maybe not. But we're here today, Angie, for the question of the week. I don't know. You got it in you this week?
I might.
See if you do. All right.
Energy level.
She's
low.
got no energy. I'm always fired up. I'm 10 monsters deep right now, which reminds me, we were, of course, shopping this week, and I did finally find the perfect. We talked a couple of weeks ago about my hair issues, and you got your own hair issues this week. I had some hair issues. I was getting the body wash mixed up with the conditioner, something like that. It was really complicated in the shower, let me tell you. But I did find the monster, of course, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, all of it
like
mixed
a
in
10 in
one.
one.
It's like a 10 in 1. So really living that monster life, really living up to the Kyle name is what I'm doing there. And then you lost your hair just like me or something?
Yep.
And that's it. No
Got
more.
a little short piece that broke off. You don't want to know how.
Okay, well, if we don't know, we don't want to know. So a riveting story once again right there. But Angie, might as well take it away. Let's do the question of the week.
Oh, God. 88, Xavier C. Question of the week. Kyle, in the Bloody Valentine unboxing, you mentioned that there's some movies you would want to remake. Of which would they be? Do you want to answer that first?
Sure. There's a two-parter. So what movie would I like to get a remake of? I guess I'd have to sit and think about. Part of me wants a Basket Case, and that's one of the only movies you've seen is Basket Case. I'd like to see that remade just with all the modern kind of stuff, but there's something special about the grimy nature of the 80s exploitation films. I just don't know if it'll translate to a modern day thing. So I was thinking Basket Case at first, but probably not. That's probably not a good one. I would like to see a movie called Death Game redone, and I think they tried to redo it, but I think they redid it, and I think I saw it, and I think I hated it. I went back to the old Death Game, and Death Game's a great movie, Angie. One of these days I'll show you about that, but it's from the 70s, I believe, based, I think, in San Francisco. I won't spoil it for everybody, but if you've never seen the classic Death Game, that'd be a good one to be remade in this modern time. I think they could do a good job on that. Somebody, maybe me, who knows? And a deeper cut, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker would be a good one. A crazy story from back in the day where, like, this kid, his, like, family dies and his aunt starts raising him, but then his aunt has the hots for him and, like, tries to kill everybody that gets around him and stuff. She just really, really loves him. And I forget the old teen heartthrob that was in that movie back in the day, but it's a wild movie that could translate to an update, I think, maybe, possibly. Who knows? And I would love to see, and this wasn't originally a movie, it was a TV show, but it stole my heart, never let go, and it's still one of the greatest shows of all time. I remember being like 5 years old, 6 years old, watching it on Fox when the Fox network first began. It was a show called Werewolf. It was kind of like the Incredible Hulk series with werewolves. And I love werewolves. Werewolves are the best. And I would love to see that made modern day. I think that would be an awesome reboot for a TV show or make it into a movie. Something special about that one. Scorsese. Scorzani was the guy's name. But he had the eye patch going on with, I forget his name. It was, he used to be a football player. It's escaping me now, but I absolutely love that. If you've never seen the Fox Werewolf series, man, watch it. You'll thank me later for sure. And I think all the episodes are on YouTube, so you can watch it all for free. Sign me up all day long. I would love to see that remade one of these days. So that's my short list off the top of my head.
Thank you later for that.
Right there. So Angie, there's a second part.
Angie, seeing how you're not a fan of horror movies, what are some of your favorites?
Well, she's not a fan, so she doesn't have any favorites.
I like a cop movie. If there's an FBI agent in it, sign me up.
She likes all those FBI shows and those, like, that kind of stuff.
But I like documentaries and like.
But no good documentaries. You don't like them on music
and.
Oh yeah, you don't really like that. Well, you don't like it when they're hunting the crypto creatures. You like it when they're looking for the ancient tombs of Egypt.
Yep.
Where I want to hear about these cryptids. I want to hear about what Bigfoot's up to, or the skunk ape, or the bear wolf, or any of the googaroo or whatever. I want to hear about that kind of stuff. But you're all in for the buried treasure, sunken treasures of the Great Lakes. You're in for that kind of stuff where. Yeah, I watch that too, but I like the crypto stuff better. But yeah, you don't like horror movies. You're not going to sit down and watch any splatter fests or anything like that. It's just not your thing where, that's how I unwind. I unwind with like a good murder horror movie. So you get scared. Well, we do got a bonus question for you this week. And you didn't read who the question was from.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. If you swear, if you promise. All right, but we got a bonus question for you.
Zorro652004. Does Angie ever put her long hair in Princess Leia's cinnamon buns? Would be a cute look.
Would be a cool look, and you've done that in the past, actually. I don't know, once or twice. Was it Halloween? I can't remember when you did that, but you wore the slave girl Leia outfit for a while, and that was pretty cool, I thought. That was cool. You had it up there and stuff, but no.
Not low. Sometimes I do them like higher.
Yeah,
like
you do.
Space buns.
I'm sure maybe come Halloween you could take special requests. Anybody got any requests for Angie? I mean, she is saying right now if we hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of March, she's going to do this in a full-on bikini, and she'll put those buns on there too. Maybe not, but maybe. You never know with her. She's a wild one. But yeah, you've done that before, very similar, so she could do it. You never know what Angie might be up to. She's got a lot of hair, that's for sure. And you lost some and nobody would even know. That's for sure. So there it is. That is the question of the week. Angie, anything else for you? Nope. She's going to go straight off to nap time. I mean, it is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. It is perfect napping time, I think. That's for sure. And we're going to go have all kinds of fun tonight. That's for sure as well. But if you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below. And now we got to sign up for the weekly purchases.